gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome to the virtual stage, Coach Anthony Davis, a real stroke of genius.
Greetings. I want you to do me a favor. Close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to think back to a time when you were maybe in elementary school. And if you remember this little tune, I want you to sing along with me. It goes a little something like this. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat for me if you remember that song, or if you sang that song, if you believe that song, if you were just excited to just sing along with your classmates and friends. And I want, parenthetically, I want to say, like, you know, that it sounded a little bit better 60 years ago when I sang that song. But what a wonderful song, right? I just remember, right? I felt joy. I felt confidence. And truth be told, I had no idea, you know, what is my light? And then of course, like how, you know, what shine it where? Shine it how? And I believe as I've experienced, you know, people, different geographical areas and locations, and people, you know, people are, you know, different places, but people are the same everywhere. And places I've been and people I've seen, I see frustration. I see anger. I see discontentment. I see rage in some cases. And in my humble opinion, I believe that is due to a lack of knowing or understanding your purpose, feelings of unfulfillment, and just not being happy about who we are or where we are in life at any given time. So I would say, where are you in this process? For those of you who have reached their goals or have accomplished a lot and doing a lot, I mean, kudos, congratulations. I'm speaking to those of us, those of you who may have struggled, where life has, through fear, through drift, through heartbreak, through adversity, have allowed their light to either be dimmed or extinguished altogether. My story today, I want to share with you, titled Stroke of Genius, Unlocking Potential Through Adversity. See, we've all gone through something. We've all been through something. There's an ancient passage that says, in this life, you will have trials and tribulations. And I think about a man by the name of Anthony Bourdain. He used to be a TV personality on CNN. He was a renowned author and chef. And he had a series on CNN entitled Parts Unknown. And Anthony used to travel all over the world and to experience different cultures, different people, different foods. And I loved that show. I used to tune in regularly to watch that show. But suddenly on June the 8th of 2018, Anthony Bourdain was found dead as a result of suicide. And I was like, how can a guy that had a career like his, that was doing the things that just seemed like, it seemed like he had so much fun. Like, how could you even call that work? But then subsequently, of course, there were all kinds of documentaries and stories and story programs that came out about him, about his life. And one documentary, he was being interviewed, and Anthony said this, and this really resonated with me. It came as a sort of a rude surprise to me when I turned 30 and I was still alive. I really didn't have a plan after that. And I was like, wow. You see, when I think back over my life, as a young adult, I went through the motions, right? I graduated high school, I went to college, I got a job, so forth. I did those things, those rudimentary things like check the boxes, right? But I was so unhappy, so unfulfilled, so lacking purpose. And so something else that Anthony Bourdain and myself had in common, in addition to, of course, sharing the same first name and the love of food, the love of travel, Anthony was also a substance abuser. And so we identified in so many fronts. And then, of course, he died. The day he died was actually on my birthday, June the 8th. And so I didn't find that out till months later. But I say all that to say, like, wow, you just never know what a person may be going through. But I'm here to tell you that there is hope, and we can and we shall overcome. Some of my life events, death, new life, birth, marriage, separation, drug addiction, alcohol abuse. My good friend at the age of 23 died in a car accident. And I used to blame myself for a long time. I felt really guilty about that. Chronic illness by multiple people who I love with all my heart. And then on March 14, 2024, I myself experienced a stroke. And so you would say, right, okay, so stroke of genius, right? So why would you, so for me, it was as I lay in the emergency room, I said, this got to be a hashtag. I've been searching for social media, trying to, build a platform, build a following, be an influencer, and pay attention to social media and how that functions and how that works. And I say, okay, this is a hashtag right here, because genius in that my creator saw fit to sit me down because I was doing too much. I was all over the place, working full-time, working part-time, doing things, doing other things for family and friends. And then more importantly than all of that, I was taking care of my wife, who was disabled with multiple sclerosis. And so I've had an opportunity to sit and be still. And my life has changed in such a drastic way that the things that I was used to doing, something as simple as putting on my shoes, I struggled with. And now that I'm back up on my feet and moving around, something as simple as going to the grocery store, because I have been unable to drive. But through all of those things, I'm still here and I'm still standing. And I have overcome and I have had successes. And I do enjoy my life to the extent that, I just take in the moments. And I believe the same thing is possible for you. I want to share with you a passage from a book entitled Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. In Hidden Potential, in a chapter titled unstuck, getting unstuck. Adam writes this: a rut is not a sign that you've tanked. A plateau is not a cue that you've peaked. There's signals that it may be time to turn around and find a new route. When you're stuck, it's usually because you're heading in the wrong direction. You're taking the wrong path, or you're running out of fuel. Gaining momentum often involves backing up, navigating your way down a different road. Even if it's not the one you initially intended to travel. It might be unfamiliar, winding, and bumpy. Progress rarely happens in a straight line. It typically unfolds in loops. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you 3 things, 3 words, 3 principles, 3 core values that I have embraced in my life, that I have found, that I have leaned on and drawn close in times of struggle, in times of challenges, in times of adversity. The first is courage. And courage is defined as this mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. The second word is conviction. Conviction, a firmly held belief or opinion. And then lastly, confidence, a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities. And for me, those 3 principles have served me well. Courage to go on in spite of the adversity, in spite of the fear. Conviction to hold to something that I believe in with so much just energy and just, I'm not letting this go. You know, there was an old saying when we were growing up, it said, you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? And if you fall for things, that means there's no conviction. So we got to stand firm, right? And be convicted of who we are and what we are and where we're headed. And then lastly, of course, the confidence. You know, some of us, you know, there was the great resignation as a result of COVID, and people were changing careers and changing jobs, and they moved from in-person work to telework and working from home and so forth and so on. There's a lot of changes. There were a lot of businesses that were launched during that time as well. And I think we're in a similar time right now, a time of fear, of uncertainty. And I believe now is the time that we hold on to our courage. We grasp our conviction, and we're 10 toes down in confidence about who we are and what we are capable of doing. So lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't share this, but for over 20 years, I served as a basketball coach in my community. And one of my favorite movies is a movie titled Coach Carter. It's a basketball related movie. It was actually based on a true story of a real Coach Carter. And in the movie, there was a young man, a young student athlete, one of his basketball players. He was a young man, really struggling. He was at really a turning point in his life. He was on the verge of being in the streets and doing wrong. You know, he was doing wrong. And he reached a turning point. But throughout this process, throughout this time frame, Coach Carter would ask this young man, what is your deepest fear? At first, the young man was like, what are you saying? Well, I don't understand what you're asking me. And as the movie continued on, Coach Carter would just continually ask him, young man, what is your deepest fear? And then finally, at that peak, right, at that apex of drama, the young man, as Coach Carter was walking away, he responded. And his response was so profound. I said, this can't be just a movie script. And so I did some research, and it was an actual poem by Marianne Williamson titled Our Deepest Fear. And I want to read it for you now, ladies and gentlemen. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I? To be brilliant, to be gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel unsure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us, within me, within you. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. As we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our present automatically liberates others. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coach Anthony Davis, also known as Coach AD. I hope this message has given you some hope, given you some food for thought, and maybe even inspired you to do some things differently. Stay tuned. I have a special offer just for you, for those of you who are attending the Champ I Am 2025 Summit. So please stay tuned. Until I see you again, peace and blessings. Thank you. Hey, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's your man, Coach AD here. I'm here to answer the question, what can DISC do for you? My friend, mentor, and coach John Maxwell says, in order to know yourself, you have to grow yourself. The DISC personality behavioral assessment significantly improves communication, helps build relationships, and improve results in every area of your life. Do you want to learn more about your behavioral style, your communication style, maybe your work style? We have an assessment just for you. We have a variety of assessments that fit different niches, whether you're an individual or maybe couples, entrepreneurs, salesmen, or sales leaders. We also have a student success assessment for students ages 10 to 15, as well as student career assessment for students ages 16 and up. Here's a testimony by one of my former clients, Lady Pastor Regina Smith. She said this, quote, "This is an amazing assessment tool that helped us to identify specific character traits that we possess." And this was a DISC workshop that I did for her leadership team at their annual leadership retreat back in 2024. So are you ready to unlock your true potential with courage, conviction, and confidence? Are you ready to step into your greatness? Many individuals struggle with uncertainty, self-doubt, and feeling stuck in a light that doesn't reflect their full potential. If this is you, this is your moment. What can DISC do for you? Our primary offer is a DISC Personality Indicator Report. This is a 30-some-odd page report full of valuable information about your leadership style, how you behave under pressure, and so much more. So in addition to the actual report, you will also receive a 60-minute session to discuss and debrief the report. What does the report mean? How do I understand what the report is saying? Then we'll do a 60-minute session on creating a personal development plan for you with concrete action steps of where you want to go in your life, in your career, maybe in a new journey, entrepreneurial journey. Then we also going to add 2 60-minute coaching sessions. Also, we have 3 bonuses to add on to this. Bonus number 1 additional DISC profile assessment and a debrief session of $199 value that you can give to a friend, a family member, or a colleague. Bonus number 2, John Maxwell's book, Becoming a Person of Influence. You'll get a paperback copy of the book, but then also a digital workbook. That's a $35 value. And then bonus number 3, a 31-day gratitude journal. That is a $20 value. Altogether, those 3 bonuses come up to a total of about $250. All this, your personal DISC assessment, debrief, personal development plan, and 2 coaching sessions, plus the 3 bonuses, all for an amazing price of $497. But because you attended the Champ I Am Summit in 2025, we're, for a limited time period only, we're going to extend a 25% discount if you register today. So as a champion in the making, you deserve to invest in yourself. Use the exclusive code CHAMPIM at checkout to receive your 25% off your purchase. Also, once you follow the QR code to our platform, you will have to register as a new client or a new customer and create your own account. So the question is, are you ready to step into the best version of yourself? Don't let fear, doubt, or hesitation hold you back. The time to take action is now. Click on the QR code on the right side of the screen to claim your transformation and your bonuses today. The offer valid for a limited time. Don't miss out. My contact information is there at the bottom of the screen, as well as all my social media platforms as well. So this is Coach AD. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this offer. And we look forward to working with you and seeing you on the other side as we continue to move and to thrive towards greatness. It's Coach AD. Peace and blessings.